Kamala Harris comes out swinging in her first major public speech since Election Day.
The speech comes after speculation that she may run for California governor once Gavin Newsom's term ends in 2027. We have Alex Michelson, Fox 11 anchor, host of The Issue Is, joining us now with more. You know, we saw that this first major speech of hers since Trump's inauguration. What did she say, and what does that really tell us?
Well, it's interesting what she said and what she didn't say. So she talked about how bad things are going with Trump. She sort of tried to remind people that I predicted a lot of this in terms of tariffs and other things that he's been talking about. She talked about the importance of fighting back. She talked about the value of getting out there and protesting in the streets and organizing. Here's what she didn't talk about: California. At all. She didn't talk about our state, any of the state issues. So she is actively going back and forth between whether to run for president or whether to run for governor. And the fact that she only talked about presidential issues and not any state issues gives you an indication that maybe she might be leaning towards running for president, at least based off of that speech. It's also interesting that right there in the room at this Emerge San Francisco event were Katie Porter and Eleni Kounalakis, both of whom are running for governor, both of whom are close with Kamala Harris, both of whom would probably drop out if Kamala Harris got into the race for governor. They were there supporting her as she talked about presidential issues.
She sounded like she could be a presidential candidate, and I have to say she did sound like she could be a gubernatorial candidate, especially since California, we know now, is the fourth largest economy in the world. So we're speaking about global issues here. You spoke with Governor Newsom this week. I found this really interesting because you asked him about Elon Musk. What did he tell you about Elon Musk and his relationship with him?
Well, it's gotten pretty bad, and they're not talking much now. They used to be very close. Actually, Elon gave Governor Newsom one of the first Teslas, and they've worked closely together over the years. Newsom is trying to do what he calls California's Doge, but better. He acknowledges, though, that Elon Musk and this chainsaw and the glasses and this approach gets a lot more attention than California's efforts on AI. Newsom's trying to use AI to do things like make traffic congestion better, to be able to predict fires faster or see when fires first start up and see if that will help people. But he acknowledges there's a real battle in the way to communicate this, and acknowledging that a lot of the way Democrats are communicating right now is just not working.
He also said it wasn't going to cost any jobs, unlike Doge, you know, with the federal government. But that, you know, could be hard to see, really, when artificial intelligence really just starts to take over so many tasks that even the state government does.
And a lot of Musk supporters like the fact that it's costing jobs. They think the federal government's too bloated and say that's kind of the point.
So Alex, last night the Senate rejected a bid to turn over the tariffs, and now there are warnings about a possible pandemic-like supply chain disruption.
Yeah, I'm not that interested in. So what comes through that port, the largest port in the country, comes from China. They expect about 35% fewer items coming next week as compared to a year ago. So what does that mean for all of us? Well, they say about a month from now, 5 to 7 weeks, that there's going to be a real noticeable difference in terms of supply, in terms of when you go out to buy something, is what you're used to buying going to be there? So it might be harder to get stuff. Stuff's going to get more expensive for all of us, and that impacts each and every one of us potentially in our daily lives. The Senate tried to act on this. Some Republicans actually tried to stop these tariffs. That ended up not going through. J.D. Vance had to break the tie. But this is a big, big issue going forward, and it's certainly not over yet.
And the president is not even saying that this is not going to happen. In fact, he said, like, you know, kids might just get 2 toys instead of having 30 toys. He seems to suggest that, you know, we're like an embarrassment of riches here, right? That having two toys is really not that bad. We'll see what happens with all of that. Alex, we appreciate it, as always.
And this week, Alex sits down with U.S. Senator Alex Padilla, and we're going to have a panel including attorney and activist Raven Martin and radio host Jennifer Horn. The Issue Is airing every Friday night at 10:30 right here here on Fox 11. Alex, thank you.
Thanks, Alex.
All right.